Wow, the new year has just kicked off, but for Python, 2026 is already starting with a bang. I mean, a huge wave of exciting updates is already here. So let's just dive right in and see what all the buzz is about. And to give you an idea of just how big this is, check out this quote from InfoWorld. They really nailed it. The world's most popular programming language kicks off the new year with a wicked fast type checker, a C code generator, and a second chance for the tail calling interpreter. I mean, come on, wicked fast, a second chance for a feature? You know this is going to be a good one. So yeah, we're not talking about minor tweaks here. These are some major leaps forward. We're going to break down all the latest tools and updates that are really showing off the incredible momentum Python has right now. You know, if you look at all these updates, there's one big theme that just keeps popping up: the quest for speed. It's no secret that Python's performance has been a talking point for a long time, right? But now it feels like developers are really pushing the limits to make it faster than ever. So how are they actually doing it? Let's take a look. Okay, first on our list is a brand new tool from Astral. It's called Tidy. And if that name Astral rings a bell, it should. They're the same folks who gave us UV, that ridiculously fast package manager that pretty much everyone started talking about. Well, now they're trying to work that same magic on type checking. All right, so let's do a quick refresh for anyone who's not deep in the weeds with this stuff. What exactly is type checking? Think of it like a spell checker for your data types. It automatically checks if you're trying to, say, add a word to a number, and it catches those kinds of silly mistakes before you even run your code. It's absolutely essential for writing solid, modern Python. And this is why a tool like Addy is such a big deal. For a long time, type checking could be, well, a drag. It was slow, kind of clunky, and it could totally pull you out of your coding rhythm. But a wicked fast type checker, that means getting feedback instantly, in milliseconds, not seconds. That keeps you in the zone. We're talking about a real game changer for your daily workflow. All right, let's keep the speed train rolling. Next up, we've got a really cool project called PythoC, and what it does is generate C code right from your Python. It's another one of these powerful new ways developers are trying to squeeze every single drop of performance out of their apps. But here's what's so interesting about it. PythoC isn't just a straightforward Python to C compiler. It's actually being set up as an alternative to Cython, which you've probably heard of. It acts more like a super powerful macro system, letting you use Python's best features to build highly optimized C code. That's a really unique way of thinking about it. Okay, so speed is obviously a huge focus, but it's not the only thing happening. The whole Python ecosystem is just getting smarter and more powerful, with all sorts of tools designed to just make a developer's life easier. And speaking of a strong ecosystem, you can't not talk about Django, right? The absolute king of Python web frameworks. Well, it's marching on with its latest major release, Django 6. For the millions of developers who build with Django, a new version is always a massive event. I mean, it's really hard to overstate just how influential Django is. Version 6 just continues that legacy. It's packed with new features that keep it right at the cutting edge, making it a super solid choice for any new web project you're kicking off this year. It's a great fresh start. Okay, let's switch gears to something a little more specialized, but really, really clever. It's a tool called PythoC. This is for those times when you need to get your hands dirty and actually transform the structure of your code itself. So what PythoC does is let you mess with something called abstract syntax trees. That's basically the skeleton of your code. But here's the magic trick. It does all that while perfectly preserving all your original formatting. So why is that a big deal? Well, it means your comments, your line breaks, all the stuff that makes your code readable stays exactly where it is. For big automated code changes, that is absolutely clutch. Okay, so we've talked about tools you can use right now. Let's kind of peer into the future a little bit. We're going to look at some of the more experimental stuff and even a few comeback stories that are happening behind the scenes. And this first one, oh, it's a great story. It's a real redemption story, all about something called the tail calling interpreter. Seriously, it's got everything: failure, a public apology, and then a huge comeback. So here's how it went down. First, the feature, which was supposed to make things faster, just didn't. It failed to deliver in Python 3.14. Then, and you have to respect this, the developer, Ken Jin, publicly apologized for it. Total transparency. But he didn't give up. That's the comeback. He found a new way to make it work on Windows builds, and the result? Bam! Striking performance results. You just gotta love a story of persistence like that. Okay, let's talk about a really thorny problem. A question that keeps a lot of developers up at night. How in the world do you safely run Python code when you don't completely trust where it came from? This is like a fundamental challenge in security.
This whole problem is called sandboxing. The idea is to build a little box around untrusted code so it can't do any damage. But Python, because it's so dynamic, is famously hard to sandbox. But there's good news. A developer named Mohamed Diallo is looking into ways to make it easier to isolate the Python interpreter itself, which is kicking off some really important conversations about how we might finally solve it.
So, we've looked at super fast tools, framework updates, comeback stories, and future challenges. Let's take a step back for a second and ask the big question. Why does any of this matter? What's the bottom line? Well, when you put it all together, the picture for Python in 2026 is crystal clear. You've got wicked fast type checking with tidying, you've got faster apps thanks to things like PythoC, you have giants like Django 6 keeping the web modern, and you even have these amazing comeback stories for cutting-edge features. The momentum is it's huge. So here's the crucial point. Python isn't just treading water. It's not just staying relevant. It is actively getting faster, more powerful, and way more versatile. The entire ecosystem, from the highest level tools all the way down to the core of the language, is just firing on all cylinders. There's no doubt about it, the pace of innovation for Python is speeding up. And that leaves us with a really exciting question to think about. With all this new speed and power, what's the next big challenge the Python community is going to tackle?